My name is Elizabeth Tucker. I'm Elizabeth to my mother, but for as long as I can remember, I've been Lizzie to everyone else. And for as long as I can remember, I've baked cupcakes. I enrolled in the culinary arts program at Johnson & Wales in Rhode Island right out of high school, hoping to someday get a job as a pastry chef. I graduated J&W in the top 93% of my class, and I would have graduated higher, but I flunked gravy. My gravy had lumps in it, and that pretty much sums up my life so far. Not that it's been all bad, more that it hasn't been entirely smooth. I grew up in Virginia, and when I was in the 3rd grade, Billy Kruger gave me the nickname Buzzard Beak, and I carried it with me all through grade school. I got my brown eyes and distinctive nose from Grandpa Harry, and while the nose wasn't great, I told myself it could have been worse, because Billy Kruger's nickname was Poop Pants. And then when I was in 8th grade, during a moment of misguided curiosity, I made out with Ryan Lukács, and the jerk told everyone I wore a padded bra. I mean, give me a break here. I was a late bloomer. Anyway, the truth is, my bra was so padded, I didn't know I was getting felt up. I got engaged to fellow classmate Anthony Muggan while I was at Johnson & Wales. 2 weeks after graduation, and a week before the wedding, Anthony and his Uncle Gordo were caught hijacking a refrigerator truck loaded with sides of beef. It turned out to be a lucky thing because after I visited Anthony in jail and returned the ring, I sobbed myself through a couple tumblers of vodka, fell off the toilet in a drunken stupor, crashed into a sink, and broke my nose. When they patched me up, I was no longer Buzzard Beak. So here I am with the cutest nose in town, and I've finally grown breasts. They're not huge, but they're better than a poke in the eye, and I've been told they're perky. Perky is good, right? In January, 3 days after my 28th birthday, I inherited a house from my eccentric great-aunt Ophelia. The house is in Marblehead, just north of Boston and southeast of Salem. I emptied my bank account to pay taxes on the house, quit my job at a downtown New York City restaurant, and I moved into Ophelia's money pit. Probably the smart thing would have been to sell the house, but no one could accuse me of always doing the smart thing. Truth is, New York wasn't working for me anyway. The restaurant hours were horrible, the kitchen politics were toxic, and the executive chef hated cupcakes. For the past 5 months, I've been living in my new Marblehead house and working as a pastry chef at Dazzle's Bakery in Salem. The bakery has been owned and operated by a Dazzle since Puritan times and is now managed by Clorinda Dazzle. She has an apartment above the bakery. She's twice divorced, approaching 40, and looks like Cher on Cher's day off. At 5'5", she's the same height as I am, but Clara looks taller. I think it's the hair. Clara's hair is black and shot with gray. If it were straight, it would be shoulder length. As is, Clara's hair is a huge mass of out-of-control energy coming to just below her ears, sometimes pulled back into a half-assed knot. She has piercing blue eyes and a nose and mouth said to have come from Wampanoag Indian blood on her mother's side. I'm not nearly so exotic, having Austrian and Danish ancestors who left me with wimpy blonde hair and a body that looks more athletic than it actually is. It was Tuesday morning. The June sun was shining bright over Salem, and Clara and I had been baking since 5 a.m. I was in my usual outfit of running shoes, jeans, t-shirt, and white chef coat. I had my hair pulled back into a ponytail, and I was dusted with flour and powdered sugar. Everything was good with the world, except Clara was in a state. It was 8 o'clock, time to open for business, and we were missing the counter girl, Gloria Binkley. "For crying out loud," Clara said. "It's not like I'm a factory. It's just you and me and Glow. How are we supposed to finish baking when we have to keep running out to the front to sell a muffin? Where the heck is she?" We were standing in the large front room that constituted the retail part of the bakery. The floors were wide plank pine, and the plaster walls were uneven. It was in decent shape, considering it predated the witch trials. The display cases were old-fashioned glass and dark wood trim, and they were at the moment home to a batch of cinnamon rolls, 4 different kinds of muffins, almond tarts, and apple strudels. The breads were against the wall in wire baskets. The remaining space behind glass was about to be filled with my cupcakes. The cash register was from 1920. The credit card swiper was state-of-the-art. A sexy, low-slung black car pulled to the curb in front of us, and a man got out. He was maybe 6 foot tall, with glossy shoulder-length black hair swept back from his face in a wave. His skin was unearthly pale. His eyes were as black as his hair. He was dressed in a perfectly tailored black suit and black dress shirt. He approached the bakery, and my skin prickled and a hot flash ran through my chest. "Holy moly," I said to Clara. "There's nothing holy about him," Clara said. The man stopped inches from the front door and stared in at me. His mouth was sensuous and unsmiling. He looked to be my age, and he was eerily handsome. He crooked his finger at me in a come-here gesture. "Do you suppose he wants a muffin?" I asked Clara. "Either that or your soul." I stepped up, opened the door, and peeked out at him. "Can I help you?" "That remains to be seen," he said. "I'll return for you when I need you. Until then, you'll remember me." He touched his fingertip to the back of my hand, and when he removed it, there was a burn mark beginning to blister. I stumbled away and slammed the door closed between us. The guy in black turned on his heel, got into his flashy car, the engine growled, and he drove off. "What the heck?" I said to Clara, staring at my hand. "I'm freaked," Clara said. "And when you live in Salem all your life, it takes a lot to freak you." Personally, I hate being freaked. I avoid it whenever possible. "I'm going to convince myself this is a bug bite," I said to Clara. "Probably a very small spider with a lot of venom." "Yeah," Clara said. "That's probably it. You just didn't see it."